Mason Films here. Did you like the intro? I hope so. So welcome back to Some Idiot Talks for an hour or less. I'm your host, Mason Films. And as always, it's just me. I don't have any guests. And now that I'm thinking about it, this is technically not a podcast because, a podcast is just the voice. And it's not just my voice because it's also my face. But I guess you could listen to this like it's audio and, not look at my face, so that counts too, I guess. Yeah. Well, whatever. We don't need rules. We're doing whatever we want. The H3 podcast exists, and they use their face as well as audio. I'm not going to put this on SoundCloud or whatever. But anyways, hi. I guess this bookshelf now, I don't know why I have a pen cap in my hand. I guess this bookshelf is now becoming my default background, and I don't know. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Default background, kind of like, what's a good example? Vloggers, they always have a place that they're at, or they have something they always stand or sit, in my case, in front of. They all have something like that. For example, I don't know if you watch Daft Pina. He sits in this chair, and he's got, a plant, and then a, picture up on the wall, or something like that. And that's, where most of his videos are, is in front of that place. Or, for a more, I guess, mainstream example, it's been a while since I used to watch Dan and Phil a lot when I was, in middle school, but I remember that Phil, how they had their, Phil had his bed, so he'd either sit on the bed or the bed would always be in view, so that's kind of his background. His background would be his room, but the bed was always, you could see it. I don't know. Doesn't make much sense. But yeah, so now we have an intro for this show. It's not very long. But speaking of shows, Dr. Adam, I know a lot of people are kind of sick of me just really doing updates and that's it, but that's why instead of making update videos, I'm just going to put all the updates for the channel into the podcast because I don't want to keep spamming with update videos. So every once in a while when the podcast does come out, because I think the last episode was last year, early last year maybe, I don't know, I'm not going to go check right now. But actually it probably was in October, because either October or November, because I was talking about the Spooktacular, and we all know how that goes. It didn't go well. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, Dr. Adam. So we are into season 2. We are two episodes deep into the season. Yeah, there's 2 out. There's 3. There's 2 out. There's 1 more that is not out yet. Because the other episode is not out yet because it's not finished yet. It's not edited. Yeah, I said it right the first time. Edited. Yeah. So Dr. Adam, it's doing pretty good right now. Season 1 ended, and people are watching it, which is good. I think the last episode 2 of season 2, has 3 views, which is not a lot, but I don't care. I mean, I think of it this way. So let's say, what's a way of kind of explaining it? You go to a party and you tell a joke and you make 3 people laugh. If I did that, if I went to a party and made 3 people laugh, I'd be very happy. So the fact that 3 people watch my video, pretty cool. So that's all I've got about Dr. Adam, just, more episodes on the way. That's it for that. Subject Not Found, I put a teaser trailer out, and the production in big quotes, for that is going along slowly, very, very slow, because where I live, it is well, it's winter and it's terrible. It's always cold. It's like 15 degrees today, Fahrenheit, which honestly is kind of warm because it's been like negative like 7 and lower. It was negative 50 a few weeks ago, which is weird. Well, it was negative 20 and then the wind makes it negative 50 or something like that. And you know, they kept saying don't go outside or you will literally die. You will burn, but with cold. You'll just get frostbite. So like the people, I like to film with the like areas near me or like people or with people in my neighborhood, which is like in Rebirth when you saw the woods. The woods are close, I guess close-ish to my house. So I could go there and I'll use that, and you know, there's not, I guess it's sort of spoilers for Subject Not Found, but not really. The woods are going to come back, and you know, there's going to be more, like, it's going to be the end of the trilogy, you know, with the Experiment, Rebirth, and then Subject Not Found. It's going to be the end of the trilogy. I guess I don't really have a name for the trilogy. I guess I could call it the Experiment Trilogy. I think that's what I've called it before. But I feel like I need a different, like a cool name. You know how like the like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead and The World's End is called the Cornello Trilogy? Like, I want a cool name like that. I want like, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Yeah, so Subject Not Found is going along slowly. I'd expect it to. This is not a promise at all because I can't promise that it'll be out. But expect it around the same time as Rebirth, maybe a little bit sooner, like maybe around Halloween-ish, like Halloween or like early November. I don't want to put it out on Christmas again because that was a disaster. I guess I can talk about that. There was a lot of disasters that kind of happened with Rebirth. Now that it's out, I can tell you all about it. So the first disaster came when I filmed the first Rebirth teaser trailer. I had the mask on, and you know, when it actually came out, there was no mask. So people were asking me, you know, there's not a lot of comments, but I show this stuff to a lot of my friends, and they're like, "Where's the mask? Where's the mask at? Why didn't you wear the mask?" And I'm like, "Well, it kind of broke." Actually, oh no, I thought I had it in this room. I don't. I used to have it in this room because I was like, I go on Omegle and I mess with people like wearing different masks, like the horse mask that I have. I don't know if I've ever used that in a video. But anyway, so I filmed, me and my friend Peter, who was the kid in the woods in Rebirth, which best person, honestly, best person, because we spent a good 2 hours filming all the scenes in the woods, and then my camera was like, you need to free up space because I've had like stuff on my camera since like 2015. I'm like, okay, I can just delete a bunch of like the bad takes or whatever because I don't need them anyway. And instead of pressing like select to like pick out each one, I just pressed delete, which means delete everything off the SD card. So it deleted not just the progress that we made that day, but the entire, like, everything else, like all the garage scenes and everything else. So that was a very bad thing that happened. That was like the first big uh-oh, whoops, oh no. So then I don't remember if it was the day right after, but at some point we got right back out and we filmed. And I actually like the final thing better than what we did because, you know, we had spray paint that we sprayed on the thing and it looked like blood and it was pretty cool. And that whole opening scene is my favorite part of the whole thing just because of how cool it is. But what else bad happened? I'm trying to remember. I know there were a lot of things. It's kind of funny. I almost broke a window in my mom's car. There's that scene or me or X or whoever you want to say. I guess you could say X. Gets into the car to like drive to a therapist appointment, and I threw the camera. Now, I guess I wonder if I still have it on my computer. I might. I know it's not on the camera, but it could be on my computer. So what I did, in the first take of it, I threw the thing, and it's in the final thing too, that I threw it and it hit the floor, and then boom, next scene. What happened the first time is that I threw it and it smashed right into the window. It didn't crack or anything, but I was terrified. I thought it was going to crack, or I thought it was going to break. Oh, jeez, I sneezed. But so I thought I was going to break a window, and I was like, oh, well, that's not good. I didn't break a window, so I get an A+ on that thing. And another thing that happened is that my computer that had everything on it, the final version, or like not the final, but like as I was editing Rebirth, my computer decides that it doesn't need to work anymore. So I had to get a new computer, which didn't. My computer was like bricked basically, and I couldn't recover like pictures or anything. So I had everything on the camera, which was good. I was so happy. I was like, okay, good. I still have everything, but I just had to redo all that progress that I had already. It wasn't that hard. It wasn't hard. It was just like, oh great, I spent however many hours the first time. Now I have to spend the same amount of hours the next time. So it was just kind of like, oh well, I gotta do this again, What else? That's really just the main things that happened. And at the end of it all, I think Rebirth was really good. I think it was a really good short film. I think it's better than The Experiment, for sure. So what else can I talk about? I think that was everything that I wanted to say. Was it? I'll probably think of it the second that I turn off the camera. Be like, oh wait, I wanted to say this one thing. There was something else about my channel, and now I can't remember. But whatever. And I've done this for like every podcast that I've done so far. All like 3 of them. I've talked about like my favorites or whatever, or like stuff I've seen recently. So for this podcast, I'll talk about a movie, a book, and a game. So that's 3 things that my phone is like buzzing. I don't know if you can hear that. I guess I'm getting notifications. I don't know what it's from. But so I got a book, a movie, and a game that I've just they're not going to be like brand new. It's just going to be stuff that I have enjoyed recently. So a movie on Netflix. There's a movie called The Kindergarten Teacher. It's really good, and I don't want to spoil anything, but basically it's about this kid that's like a super genius. Like he's in kindergarten, and he's a super genius, and his teacher wants to like grow him into like the next like Mozart or Albert Einstein or whatever, and it kind of develops into this like kind of creepy relationship between this teacher and this little like kindergarten kid. And I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but it's a very good movie. And if you like thrillers and like suspenseful movies, watch The Kindergarten Teacher. It's very good. A book that I read, it's right here. I've read that. I think I talked about this before. But Hyperbole and a Half. I might have talked about this before, but I keep reading this book because it's hilarious. It's amazing. I would read from it, but I think you can get like copyright claimed for like just straight up reading a book, so I'm not going to do that. But there's hilarious stories in here. If you like, funny stories or whatever, read Hyperbole and a Half. It's super good. It's also a kind of old book, I think. I thought there was a year on here, but there is not. Is there somewhere? Maybe there is. 2013. So it's kind of old. Like a few years. Okay. So that's the book. Hyperbole and a Half is hilarious, and I love it, as well as the blog that it is that most of the stories come from. So yeah, that's a thing, and a game, Dying Light. It's so much fun, and I know people hate this. Like the people don't like the story to it, and I will say it's not like the greatest part of the game. You know, whatever, but if you're playing the game for the story, you're kind of, if you want like a enriching, amazing story, I'm not going to say don't play the game, but you probably won't like it if you're looking for a story. If you're looking for a fun zombie game, like parkour, doing all this crazy stuff, best game. Just amazing. Truly. I think if you do want the story, maybe play The Following, Dying Light, The Following, which is the DLC. It's got a pretty interesting story. It's like it's kind of like the, what are the people called in The Walking Dead? The Whisperers? The people that can talk to the zombies? It's kind of like that. But it's pretty interesting. So that's my recommendations. So now I'm gonna go. How long has it been? Actually, I can't see. It's been 16 minutes and 17 seconds? No, 20 seconds. What? I don't know. That's why I have glasses, because I can't see things. So I'm gonna go. Hope you enjoyed this thing. Goodbye.